Hello, Scorpio. I just want to begin and say I don't want any of your distractions right now. This is the third attempt of me, like, trying to record this reading, and I'm not making it through the intro, okay? But I'm getting a beautiful, delicious need to continue wanting to, like, be distracted in music. I just want to sing. Oh. Okay, I have to include that somehow before I get to begin my intro. That's very clear because this is my third attempt. So let me tame these energies down. Welcome, Scorpio, to another timeless, the love variant reading, where we discuss however love may be absent or present in your life, however the story fits you. Please know that these messages are timeless. Past, present, and future energetical timelines could always come forth within a reading. Use your discernment to take all of that which belongs to you and leave the rest behind that doesn't, for this is not a personal reading that you decided to zero in on, okay? Also know that I'm a Master 7th who reads these energies. I'm also a Master Healer. Should you be interested to know what that means and how that could be of service for you, check out the description box below, where you can find different ways to get in contact with me, and also checking out my sister channel if that's something that may interest you. Scorpio, these messages may resonate more if you are Scorpio in your sun, rising, and or Jupiter position. If you are Scorpio in your moon, Mercury, and or Venus position, and you're looking for something else, maybe your intuition will lead you towards my sister channel. The link can be found in the description box below. Just like these messages on this channel, timeless messages are also presented over there. I made it through, y'all. I did it. Did it. Oh, but you see, it's like, I don't know what you guys have been doing to ether within the last 2 to 3 years, but y'all have been dancing such a beautiful fucking song of your personal selves, wherever you are in a meditative zone, however your powers are, and it is just so beautifully delicious. It's beautifully delicious, and the only way that I can pay respect to that is saying that I want to sing. The voice box is being challenged to just express and move and dance and swing and get juicy with it. Y'all doing so much beautiful work. And the fact that it's still here after me first really getting into this zone of like, ooh, Scorpios, what have you been doing? I think this is going on for like at least 2 years now. I mean, call me crazy. This could be maybe even also just a year. I don't know. Go check out the Scorpio readings, the other ones, if that's still there. I don't even know. Anyway, but nice. Good job. This is amazing. All the things that I can feel over here and read for you is just exquisite. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of purple around you, which is like, ooh, not fun. And y'all know that, though. And y'all dance with the mysticism of the darkness like dark cherry juices. It's delicious, all right? It's delicious. It's just delicious. Y'all are just handling your shadow selves. If you have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about, that's okay. But just consider yourselves like the things that you don't really want public to know. The things that you want to tame because it's just the ugly parts of you. Ooh, pretty too. They are so pretty. They're so pretty. They're so pretty, delicate, beautiful. That temper. Ooh, boy. Wow. And some of you are all tired with yourselves. I get it, okay? It's not fun to be in this temperamental energy where things work one moment and don't work the other. But you guys are just guys, gals, aliens, for all those in between. However you float the boat is exactly how you are floating. And that's what's so authentically beautiful in reading from all the way over here, from whatever I see or don't see. You're coasting, but beautifully. You're not lazy. You're taking up everything that you can take up, you're taking up. Everything that you shouldn't say, you say. Anything that you're worried about saying, you're still saying. If it's too much, you're giving more. If you know you shouldn't, you don't. There's an act like this. I'm just so proud. I'm so proud. Y'all are look like spiritual warriors, okay? And this is with high respect. I wouldn't be surprised to show that respect the king energy would show up within a reading. Because I think what needs to be understood on a personal note, that all these decisions, everything that I see as a healer, as a reader, as whatever the fuck you want to label me as, that can put you on blast and make you feel felt and heard and seen without seeing you or you seeing me. That's what we're talking about. That's what that is. To try to make sense of it is knowing your brain way more chaos than needs to be. So you're floating along with it, and any decision that you can make, ooh, that's like a King of Swords energy. Slicing and dicing and making shit beautiful. Because you're understanding the alchemy of the game, but I think a lot of you resonated with air. It's a breath of magic. Breath of magic. It's nice, Scorpio. It's nice. There are things that you want to have achieved by this point. At the same time, as soon as the thought comes, they're like, probably wasn't meant to happen. It's like, it's such a genuine, humble approach to your own bullshit. I like it. I like it. It's authentic. It's honest. And the most beautiful thing about this honesty is that it's always 100% wanting to show up and do the work. At the same time, you don't explain yourself to nobody, as you don't need to. Your spiritual team is the only thing that you need to explain yourself to. And that's however you rock the boat of resonancy in this life to get you forward and moving and existing and breathing and becoming. All right, let's get you some cards, Scorpio. Let's get in there. Oh, all right. Well, I mean, why not rock the boat with your card, with your energy? This is considered valued as Scorpionic energy, the Death card. For some of y'all, this is a lesson because some of you are just like starting to get a little bit of interest with tarot. Maybe just now recently been introduced to it. Okay, so the universe is punching you in the face because that's what she's here to do. Okay, she's not small or operating on nobody's time. And neither do you. She wants to look you in the eye and say, do you see me? And the only way you can see me is if you see yourself. And once you see yourself so succinctly, you understand you come of Mother Nature. Any decision that you do will not negate the decisions that I do to take you and leave you here on this world. Mother Nature is not fickle. She's pure honest, pure authentic, and justifiable in all ways. Tied to that is extreme form of mysticism, because the human mind can't always intellectualize the ways of ether. And what humanity seems to forget all the fucking time is that humanity is an outcome of this existence. Maybe our little minds shouldn't wrap our heads around all of it and think that we are the gods to understand what we're making sense of. But maybe collectively, having a conversation, having life, experiencing losses, gains, euphorias, temperamental energies, attitudes, adjustments. Like, those are the constant, brutal forces that life is continuously very practical in providing. And some of you have just that utmost understanding to that it's written in understanding of this card. Pure death. And some of you mystic souls believe that in the category of mysticism, you need to accept death. No. Death is a variable that no one can escape. transgressions, transmutations exist all the fucking time. We can't really outsmart the thing that created us. The moment we try, she has a weird way of showing us that we need to get back on the horse and try again. Because there's always light at the end of the tunnel. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. Oh, not the King of Swords. It's the Knight of Swords. But this isn't your energy. That's why, no, it's not. It's not the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is the reason why you're practicing air magic of truth. Air magic of truth, and the way that I can talk about it is basic, but since I'm in this niche right now, it has to do with your throat chakra. Being able to claim and take space, being courageous and confident, trusting yourself and learning about the ways of decisions and choices. Language barriers, everything having to do with the voice box integrates the knowledge of what air energy can bring to understanding alchemy. The Knight of Swords in this reading is pushing the elements of people, pushing you further into your ego death, where the ego is no longer fulfilled with the dramas of the people trying to bring drama into your life. Your ego is like, fuck off. I've evolved. That has nothing to do with me. I bring death onto you by bringing death onto me. And the death onto me is saying, I'm ending this. I'm bringing the consensual lines of the borders that you do not get to trespass anymore. You do not get to belittle me. You do not get to do spiritual rituals on me. You do not get to I really want to say blasphemize, but I don't think that's a word, okay? But there's blasphemy happening on how people are thinking negative upon your name. And your ego self is so understanding of that however you're maneuvering your life decisions as of late and as of forward going on for the next 3 to 6 months, I'm hearing even 9 month cycle, you're in your overall ego death of all your former lives that have negated to try to bring compromisable situations, compromisable understandings to a former life or lives that you've had and all the people that you've had them with. And your ego has learned after all this time, all these integrations and all these experiences, what you, the individual self that this ego is coming from, no longer resonates with. So like you're thanking all the people, all the families, all the friends, all the coworkers, all the people, all the variables of flesh for bringing you closer into what you no longer want. Because that's pushing you into finally recognizing that not only is there a light at the end of the tunnel, you've been the motherfucking light the whole fucking time. And what you're reaching towards while you're going to the end of the tunnel, the light at the end of the tunnel, are all the experiences that are going to deplete the karmic bullshit that makes you think you're in darkness and that it takes a long time to get reunited with the light at the end of the tunnel. No, it's like a veil. And the more we get closer and closer to understanding that it is a veil, we're taking away the negative connotations that people have been putting around you and your energy by just thinking of the energies that is connected to you. Whether it's a jewelry piece you've given them or you've been begotten, or whether it's a child that you've had, or a marriage you've had, or a house you had, or a fucking dinner you'd had, or a family member, or a former deceased person. There are energies that are speaking upon your name that either can gravitate you, making yourself feel good, or can make you feel quote unquote bad. And that's in the pendulum of existence that you are subconsciously so rocking with at this time, that that's like the void, aka death, aka nothing's happening over here because I just had a major loss and I need to mourn. This is the mourning. So interesting. Like, this horse right here is not happy that this person on the horse is having so much energy and angst going towards something that is no longer like a battle worth fighting. It's an end. This person is no longer there. Where are they going with so much temperamental energy? Like, they're wasting their time, and the horse fucking knows it, because the horse is carrying all the load and the baggage of this person. This person is coming in a heavily protected spiritual self, seeing the spiritual advisor, doing all these fucking shit and hoorahs and ha-has, okay? All that trying to be mighty and pure. Because I feel that this energy can't really be naked, take off their shoes, and walk towards chaos. For somehow they always need to fucking have a codependent on something in order to feel as big as they want to feel, to prove their point. And you're over with that energy. You're over it. You're so over it because you're literally likewise over it. You're way more powerful than this Knight of Swords energy. But it's humbling you. That's for fucking sure. And it's a storm that's keeping you in a position for a while now, and maybe for some time, because there's a transaction that cannot be avoided from the situation, and that's totally fine. It's bringing you more richness and more ways to bring fruition of what you always wanted to create in the first place. It's like the Page of Pentacles finally has become in union with the light at the end of the tunnel. The light at the end of the tunnel being that pentacle. The yellow all around him showcases that he is accepting of this energy. He or she is accepting of this energy. Wants to show up within this yellow energy of euphoria, reflection, reharmonization. But this reharmonization is a completely independent thing. This has nothing to do with reacclimatizing yourself or getting a claim to something of your past. You've completely cut the umbilical cord of your past successfully. Now it's about building and recreating all the little dust bunnies of that past of which you cannot get away from, but more like holding on to that energy, focusing on it, and you can see it change. It's like you see it, you bring, like, I don't know how to explain this vision, but it's like, let's say someone threw a hex on you and it landed in a form of a crystal. And all of a sudden the crystal looks dark because that's how it landed your hand. But it's almost as if you can look at to what landed in your hand, and the more you focus on it and the more you become aware of what this bullshit is, all of a sudden it crystallizes and becomes this clear thing. That's how powerful you are, Scorpio. That's how powerful you are. Period. I was just gonna say can be, but no, this is a present thing. Subconsciously, this is happening regardless to you understanding this message or not. This is what's so fascinating about this. All right. Queen of Pentacles. Slow and steady wins the race because you are just so in love with what makes your assets grow, your beliefs grow. All right. 3 of Cups just proves that there are a lot of emotions in your life that are attached to you at this time, whether it's you or other people that are emotionally attached or emotionally codependent of you. But there is a longing to grow into and evolve with the Queen of Pentacles, of that which you is that you are, or also have a mirror liking to around you. It is much more nourishing and humble and acceptance of who you are than this chaotic energy of the Knight of Swords, which constantly has you as a reminder that whenever you entertain this topic or these responsibilities, it triggers the negative side of accountability where you're thinking you're lacking something. And then this energy of focus allows you to be reminded via this energy, this Queen of Pentacle energy, whether it's external or internal of you, that you have no negative attributes that make you. And nourishing that by accepting 2 different universes that you may be in at this time is allowing you to be comfortable with the decision of the universe that you've actually already decided to step into. You have a lot of love to give, a lot of understanding. You are in fear of the baggage that you bring, but the baggage is no baggage. It is. And since it is part of you, it is something that is enjoyable to be part with you and to rummage along with you. Yeah, 10 of Cups. A very emotional relationship without it ever addressing emotional codependency. It is an answer to what has always been desired, but without you realizing just yet that the reason why it quote unquote took so long is not because of what is now in front of you. It's everything else in the past that would have came in and tried to ruin what you're building on now. Eight of Swords energy with the 8 of Cups energy and the 6 of Cups. I mean, this is a big stranglehold of just saying that, you know, this is a long... It's going to take some time for the old patterns of old traditions to leave your life, to the point where when they trigger you or anything triggers you on the daily routines now moving forward, that it won't bring you some, that it's going to be difficult for you to not feel some sort of emotional responsibility towards the decisions that make you keep walking in the direction that you do. It's not regrettable. That's not it. For any cross-watcher listening, worrying about whether or not, because I feel like there's a cross-watcher here that's wanting to ensure whether or not a Scorpio comes your way, and it's not about a Scorpio coming your way. The Scorpio is right there with you already. The things that keep the Scorpio further away is the patterns that would come and try and ruin any kind of patterns you would, again, want to create with the Scorpio moving forward. And the ether knows this so much so because they understand the power of Scorpio. Because there's a secret what Scorpio doesn't understand between how Scorpio is what Scorpio is for the universe. It's like the universe plays a game using the pawns of astrology. And we all have the attributes of every pawn, and every pawn is part of our actual battleground of fighting the war. However, understanding the right role, the real role as to why you are this energy is part of the mysticism, to get to know ourselves and to not also be stuck or contingent on these labels and just think we're only fit in that label of just a Scorpio under Sun or rising Jupiter, North or whatever, or just entirety. It's just another way of speaking a language called life. So the energies are moving from old patterns into new patterns, and you're trying to almost like take the old patterns and try to refresh them, reform them, bring vivaciousness to them for new traditions to formulate moving forward with the one that you have now, that you've decided on. Whether in presence this person again is in the same room with you or not has nothing to do with the person already being in the room with you already now. That's the energy, that's the cycle that we're speaking of. This is still a collective reading, ladies and gentlemen, and all those in between and beyond. Okay, if you want to zero in on you, reach out to me if you feel intended and you feel like your intentions are leading you this way. There's a reminiscent energy coming back and wanting to keep you from moving forward. This is it's a fucked up cycle, because it will break the person that's trying to bring so much energy into wanting you back. You're not feeding this energy, Scorpio. You're not teasing this energy to come back. You're not hinting for this energy to come back. You're made it very crystal clear that you no longer want to participate with this energy of any cost or any form of way. Yet there is a strategic game as to why this person still may be attached to you. This could be life situations, okay, transactional assets that just are unavoidable at this time, which are going to be a continuous problem for a quote-unquote problem moving forward. They're not problems though. They're part of more aspects of you. And anyone that's participatory in the life moving forward from this moment on, moving past as you leave the reading behind, is going to push the limits, and you seeing whether or not they accept you and being participatory in what you have to bring in life, okay? And that it's meant to be unconditional. No problem of yours is a problem to the situation. You are not a problem, Scorpio. And that is the beauty that I think it's owed to you to see that you are not a problem, because you've lived your life up to this point in such a beautiful mystic way that you're not really sure why this reading even makes sense, probably, as to why you are quote-unquote deserving. And English sucks in like bringing points of romanticism of self to clarity, I would say, but there is an element of, yeah, you do fucking deserve this. You deserve any energy willing to be showing up in front of you as you move forward and beyond of time, work-wise, relationship-wise, societal-wise, career-wise, however wise, unwise you want to move in this life. Yeah, absolutely, it's meant to be unconditional. You are not a problem. Any problem that you come with is a fixable solution. Every problem can be fixed. And if you're looking at a situation over and over again and it can't be fixed, well, then that's the solution, that it cannot be fixed. So you figure out what you're going to do with that something that you cannot fix. Do you move on? Or do you accept that you cannot fix it? Ace of Cups. It's so interesting that I felt King of Swords energy earlier, and maybe that was like an oracle message, because the element of the surprise is, well, I can read and want to sing for you because you're so all the way over there and I'm all the way over here, but it's so beautiful. What makes me get this message? Oh, it's air magic. Beautiful. Yeah, what is it actually that you're successful in doing? Oh, it's the Ace of Cups kind of energy. It's the emotions. It's the skill behind the talent of tarot. It's the emotional intelligence, the inner ingenuity, the thinking mind, the beating heart, the inquisitive soul. That's what makes you so interesting to ether. That you entertain all aspects of life and anything that it can bring with such an absolute, breathtaking form of authenticity. People should look at you and take notes. But they're too jealous to sit there and take notes. So they reap the rewards from you in other ways. Almost like emotionally manipulate you. And if they don't emotionally manipulate you, they emotionally manipulate anything else that you love. Wow, the Death card here again, Scorpio, your card. The boundaries which divide life from death are at best shadowy and vague. Who shall say where the one ends and where the other begins? You're your own pendulum swinging. Absolutely gorgeous energy. I love that the skull is still here and he or she is reunited with the feminine aspect of what this energy forgotten. Mother Nature is the creator of creation. She brings what this energy loves, the richness of things that are alive and beating, the beauty of things, as he is also very much alive. And seeing him or her in the presence of all there is. It's beautiful. Loving somebody in all their glory, in all their darkness, in all their ways. I'm feeling, Scorpio, that someone wants to, you want to propose something. This doesn't have to be marriage, okay? But proposal is definitely hidden here with the Three of Cups here. All right, you want to celebrate something new, a beginning, an acknowledgement. It's cute, it's juicy. You want to bring an end to someone's life. And this is the most romantic way possible, okay? This is no negativity involved, so don't try to maneuver it in any kind of way. But the death that you want to bring into someone's life is the fact that someone that you really love or that loves you in return, or the experience that you're about to come into and have is an experience where you're bringing an end to their suffering. Five of Candles. We tremble with the violence of the conflict within us, of the definite with the indefinite, of the substance with the shadow. But if the contest have proceeded this far, it is the shadow which prevails. We struggle in vain. I'm going to read that again. We tremble with the violence of the conflict within us, of the definite with the indefinite, of the substance with the shadow. But if the contest have proceeded this far, it is the shadow which prevails. We struggle in vain. Whoa. It brings highlight too that darkness is really difficult for anyone to accept because it's fickle, uncertain, and procures a lot of discomforts which can be easily addressed as fears. And when there are people that see through loving eyes, they can see that others suffer in silence. And usually it's because they also suffer in silence just the same. It takes some similarity to understand another's point of existence. It requires oftentimes a humbleness to accept a cognitive dissonance to occur when there are differences being met, when reality strikes home. It's the best way I can say that. And to do all that silently is where we often enough sit in the darkness of the vein and bring pain onto that. And yet we can be here to maybe something like this on a random note and a random algorithm and feel as if we're no longer struggling in darkness in vain. We have the world is all that we see or seem, but a dream within a dream. Four of Candles, I loved her with a love more fervent than I had believed it possible to feel for any denizen of earth. It's a wonderful love story. It's a wonderful love story of self. It's a wonderful love story of other. It's a wonderful love story of self. Knight of Cups, romance. We have the Moon, misinterpretation, and the Hermit, solitude. All right. It's so interesting that I keep hearing the King of Swords, King of Swords, King of Swords. I don't know why. It's not here. It's so strange. I can understand it in ways that it may want to perpetuate more of like get you to speak, but then it's not showing up here. It's saying Knight of Cups and Knight of Swords, which is interesting. Okay. And I think that might be part maybe having to do with understanding how the moon can be a topic in your life, in your meditations, in your interpretations of solidarity when you're alone, having to understand self and the way people are quote-unquote mystics and spiritual advisors and psychics and mediums and clairvoyant. Like there's a lot of like woo-woo out there. And sure, you can listen to all that and then be interested in diving into swimming along the seas and however makes you feel comfortable to express yourself, or you can do it on your own in solidarity and figure out what it is that you swing towards of interest further and further on your own and see if that resonates with you. Because there's a lot of things that I, as a Master Seventh, who really reads these energies, of whom I'm reading for as well, is not interested in all these labels and definitely not interested in the continuous misinterpretations of reading new moons or full moon readings. Let's put it that way. Or like even disclosing sun and moon rising sign. The astrological terminology to things is also just a label. The same way that I can play on the fact that these cards are just cards. You know, would I have made an ass out of myself if I said King of Swords energy now and the card didn't come up? That's part of the assumption. The ultimate contradiction of how this is storytelling time, and you take messages that resonate and leave the rest behind that don't, because this reading may not have resonated and zeroed in on you because it's not a personal reading. That could be it too. Maybe the King of Swords energy is still loud because maybe you pick up the card and you're shuffling through this reading right now, and the King of Swords lands on the table in front of you. I don't know. It didn't show up here. I don't know why I'm still talking about it either, while it's still not here. That's a sign. Okay? And that's the sign I guess I'm going to leave these messages where they are. That's what I'm hearing. So that's where they will be. I'm wishing you a wonderful morning and or night, wherever you are in the ether of this time and space, Scorpio. And may you keep flowing, growing, and glowing. Take care.